Well, we're going to carry on talking about this appalling violence against hospital workers, and then we'll talk about government plans to train 40,000 construction workers over the next 4 years as it attempts to tackle the housing shortage and end a reliance on overseas workers.
Yes, the plans are going to see £100 million invested in new technical excellence colleges to support homegrown talent and help build £1.5 million new homes by 2029. And we're joined now by Minister for Skills, Baroness Smith. Good to see you this morning.
Morning, Jack.
We're fascinated, and so will many of our viewers be, in what this new proposal and these new plans. But we do have to start with the extraordinary response we've had, and I'm sure that you will have seen the figures, to the Royal College of Nursing's report. They've got some new figures into the violence, particularly against A&E staff and nurses in general. Every 2 hours, a nurse is attacked, a staff member is attacked. 11 times a day is being reported on average. I mean, you're no stranger to trusts and hospitals and the various roles you've done. It's appalling, isn't it? And we've got to find a way of stopping it.
No, you're absolutely right, Kate. It is wholly unacceptable. And you're also right that, I had some experience of it when I was leading big trusts in London and in Birmingham. It's shocking that somebody could come into our hospital and be aggressive and violent to the people who are there absolutely on the front line looking after them. And I think there's a range of things that are happening and need to happen. Quite often trusts will have security staff. That's right, to protect their staff, and we need and to take a pretty uncompromising approach to those who come into our hospitals and abuse our staff as well. I know that Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, has been...
Can I pick you up on that point there? Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to capitalise on what you've just said. The figures also show that even though we have specific legislation in place that was passed in 2018 to prosecute people who attack workers like nurses, most of these awful, violent attackers are simply being fined, or they're not even being charged. They could get 2 years in jail. But in terms of the deterrence to try and dissuade them from even thinking about launching attacks like this, it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah,
it looks like actually the conviction rates are relatively high at 80%, which is positive. The problem is that it's partly the punishment, although you can be jailed. It's more having people to tackle it and get the charge in the first place. We were just speaking to a nurse who said in front of many witnesses, she was physically attacked. The person was arrested, but never charged. So that's going to feed back, isn't it, to the nursing profession, to the people on the ward, to the patients, as they can get away with it. It's no deterrent at all.
Yeah, well, they certainly shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. And I think one of the biggest deterrents is actually having people, security, or in some cases police officers, but I think quite often in trusts it's directly appointed security who are there to help to stop things becoming overflowing, if you like, becoming violent in the first place. Because never mind catching people and prosecuting them, which of course should happen in serious cases, people shouldn't have to put up with that in the first place. That's staff and, of course, patients around them. And one of the reasons, it's not an excuse, but of course what we've seen increasingly over recent years in emergency departments is people having to wait too long. And people not getting the care out in the community that they needed to prevent them having to come in there in the first place. Now, those are all things that we've already begun to make some progress on. Wes Streeting is absolutely focused on. He's also, of course, talked to the Royal College of Nursing about what more we can do to ensure that nurses are getting the support, the conditions that they need to be able to carry on doing the brilliant job. And I did hear the nurse that you were interviewing previously, and I thought how admirable it was that despite having faced what she's faced, she still wants to carry on nursing. And that's why they absolutely deserve our support.
But, Jackie, does it go deeper than the cause and effect that you've just been through, which, of course, we all understand? Are we becoming a sick society?
I wouldn't go that far, Richard. I mean, I think that for as long, actually, as I worked in hospitals, and that was from about 2012, 2013, there has been a problem of people being violent to NHS staff. So this isn't something that has suddenly emerged, but that makes it in some ways even worse, because NHS staff doing their best on the front line in what is already an incredibly stressful job should not have to put up additionally with people then being abusive and violent to them. So I think it's something we've got to keep on top of.
But it's doubled in 5 years. These figures have doubled over the last 5 years.
And it corresponds with that time that there has been really unacceptable pressure on our hospitals and on our hospital staff. That's why I'm saying that I think there's a whole range of things we need to do here, as West Streeting is doing, working with the Royal College of Nurses to make sure that staff have got the support that they need, but also just getting our hospitals back to a stage where they are seeing quickly the people that they need to see, that others are being dealt with in the community more quickly, and that this sort of horrible tension and that spills over into violence isn't accepted and doesn't occur in the first place.
Yeah. And then it can be a safe place for patients, staff and everybody, which is absolutely what we all want, isn't it? Let's talk about what you're here to focus on, the training of 40,000 new construction workers by 2029. And so that will help you not miss the pledge to build 1.5 million new homes. How's this going to work?
Well, what we're announcing today is 10 specialist construction technical excellence colleges, one in each region, who are going to be responsible for the absolute cutting-edge construction training. So they'll be training people directly. 40,000 learners will be going through those colleges in the next 4 years. But they'll also be working across the system to make sure that we're getting the expert trainers and instructors that we need to do construction training, that we're developing the new courses that are necessary for new methods, that they're working with employers to say to the employers, right, what is it that you need, our quite often young people who want to get into the construction industry to learn, to have as their skills, so that they can leave colleges and actually be there ready to work on the sites which will be building the new homes, building the hospitals, building the other bits of infrastructure. And our technical excellence colleges that we're announcing today will be able to lead that work. And that goes alongside investment that the Chancellor had already announced into additional apprenticeships, into shorter courses, what we call skills boot camps, where you can have perhaps a shorter, intense training period with an interview at the end of it, and foundation apprenticeships, which are starting this August, which are a way of getting more young people into the construction industry in the first place.
Okay, Baroness Smith of Malvern, can I just ask you a completely irrelevant question about yourself? Why Malvern? No, why, I'm just curious, why Malvern, Baroness Smith of Malvern? What's the connection?
I grew up in Malvern, Richard.
I see.
I went to school in Malvern, and I've lived in Malvern for the last 11, 12 years. Right. I was at Malvern Town Football Club on just this Saturday, where we started the season with a 3-0 win. So there you go. Does that answer your question?
You got your plug in for the football club. They'll love that. They'll love that.
Did you know that the Malvern Hills...
Good to talk to you, by the way. Thank you very much indeed.
The Malvern Hills, which are beautiful, are the highest point on land between them and the Russian steppes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I bet Baroness Smith does.
She probably told me.
She probably does. There you go.
No.
She's nodding. She knew that fact.